The mention of Rwanda to anyone would spark memories of 1994, in one of the most heart-wrenching events in human history. After generations of ethnic and political tensions in the country, close to 1 million people were systematically slaughtered in one of the swiftest, most brutal killings the world has seen. Egide takes me to the Genocide Memorial in Kigali, where close to 250,000 victims are buried.
It's always better to start with the history, and this is one of our very saddest histories. It's better for you to see what happened before you see our future.
Rwanda's population was comprised of 3 ethnic groups: the Hutu majority, the Tutsi minority, and the forest-dwelling Twa. For centuries, the cattle-raising Tutsi ruled over the farming Hutus. As colonization began, the Tutsi minority was favored by colonizers for being more Western in appearance. This only intensified the gap between the two groups, with each citizen bearing identification cards indicating their ethnicity. As years of political and social-economic pressures took their toll, a civil war broke out in 1990 between the government headed by Hutu President Habyarimana and the Tutsi-led rebel group, the RPF. In April 1994, the president's plane was shot down just before it landed at the airport of Kigali. This event sparked widespread violence across the country. Hutu extremists blamed the crash on the Tutsis and took over the streets, systematically killing, raping, and looting. The airwaves were dominated by hate speech and justification of the genocide. In a matter of days, over 800,000 Tutsis and moderate Hutu civilians were killed, and hardly any intervention from the international community. Although Rwanda's tragic past can never be taken down from the history books, it has served to open the eyes of the world towards preventing another similar catastrophe.
Egide, this is very, very sad, and I can't even imagine it has happened during our lifetime in this age of ours.
Indeed, it's a sad thing. It's really sad what happened, but that's why I wanted you to start with this, seeing our dark history, our very, very bad history. But despite all that, a lot of people have moved on. We are working well with the government and also the locals, meaning the citizens. Everybody has, in terms of forgiving, they've already forgiven each other. And we're not looking at the past, we are always looking at the future.
For Egide and today's generation of Rwandese, there is a compelling reason to remember the past, but more so, to look forward to a brighter future. Agriculture contributes about a third of the country's GDP and is still the main economic activity for most households in the rural areas. From Kigali, we drive through the countryside as I made my way to Lake Kivu. Everywhere, the hillsides are terraced and cultivated for agriculture.
And it's interesting that they have very good infrastructure, roads everywhere, which allows all the farmers to bring all their goods into the city and sell them. They also have electricity all over the place. These kids are looking after their goats, but they're very curious. And they came up all the way here just to say hello to me. Farming, bananas, a sugar cane, sweet potatoes, right? Sweet potatoes. And they have rivers that irrigate the land. Everything is so green. It's so nice and pleasant to the eyes. Each one of them are getting some grass for their cows, maybe. Interesting how they will have to transport it by their bicycles.
Bicycles are also a convenient mode of transport in these rolling hills. Not to mention, good exercise. Up next, we take a break by Rwanda's lakeshore before heading deep into its thick jungles.